What is going on, guys? Thanks for tuning into the next episode of the Three Peaks Fitness Podcast. I'm Coach Mark.
I'm Coach Lynette.
Today we wanted to talk about eating well on a budget.
Yes.
Because eating healthy foods, it doesn't have to be as expensive as you think.
Right.
They're not all... What is that one grocery store out in California? You know what I'm talking about? Where like lettuce is like $80 and
oh my gosh,
it's like Aurora or what is it called?
So it's like Whole Foods on steroids.
It's like whole. Man, what is it? It's like I can't remember.
It'll come to you. It will
but
come
anyway,
to you.
It's not like that. It's not like Whole Foods. Don't get caught up in the marketing of organic this, super green that. Like
there is a perception that if you can only eat well if you have a lot of money.
Yeah, which is not true. And actually, mindset is probably one of the first things that we want to talk about. Mm-hmm. It's important that we keep things in perspective in regards to how much it costs to feed you and your family. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes, and I'm just saying this because as a trainer, I've heard countless people say it, how, getting a bunch of produce is expensive.
Yeah.
But they don't have a problem going out and dropping $100
right
for one meal for their family.
Yeah. Spend $100 on produce.
Right, $100 on produce. That'll last you, $100 of produce will last you hopefully more than a week, right?
Probably a couple weeks.
Just kind of keep that in perspective, right? Like if we were to line up, there's no judgment. I'm not judging, but just if we were to line up like, your eating out bill and your grocery bill, just keep that in mind next time you think, it's like really expensive to eat healthy because there's no doubt about it. Grocery prices are up. Right?
Way up.
They're way up right now.
Yeah.
And so are restaurant prices. But it's not as expensive as you may think.
Right. Harvard looked at a meta-analysis of a whole bunch of people who ate in different ways, and they came up with an actual amount that it costs to eat healthy above just the standard American diet. Mm. So it's $1.48 a day to up your game and eat healthy. And that's
not bad.
That's not bad when you consider you're avoiding a lot of really expensive diseases. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So it's not astronomical.
Like basically $45 a month.
Yeah.
To eat healthier.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because I don't know if I don't remember exactly what the numbers are, but when we recorded the podcast on eating organic,
yes,
and we pulled out the prices of medical bills.
Yes,
hey, $50 a month ends up being, well, I don't care, for years and years and years, it still ends up being cheaper.
It's an investment,
than getting a heart attack or whatever. So Anyway, moving on to the actual tactical things.
Yes,
the first one we have is to plan your meals.
Yes. That's number one. So we did not have any money when I was first married, and this was the first thing I learned the hard way is you gotta make a plan. You gotta plan meals, even if it's a super simple plan. Even if you eat the same dinner every night, you gotta have a plan. Mm. That way you know what to buy at the store, because I've also learned the hard way when I didn't plan meals and I ended up wasting a lot of food because I forgot stuff was in the back of the fridge and I didn't buy enough or bought too much. Like you gotta have some kind of plan. Make an attempt.
Yeah.
Make an attempt. That's very, very important. Mm-hmm. And then
that also takes not only from like a financial standpoint, but a stress standpoint.
Yes,
it's nice to plan, to know, okay, this is what I'm cooking for dinner tonight. You don't have to think about it.
Huge stress reliever.
Yeah.
Especially if you are super busy and you have a lot of evening activities. If you don't have a plan, you're going to end up eating out. You're going to end up in a drive-through on the way home from soccer because you don't have anything waiting for you at home.
Right.
But if you just take a few minutes out, throw something in a slow cooker, or have some kind of a quick meal that you know that you can make when you get home, then you can avoid that expensive drive-through trip. Mm-hmm. So having some kind of plan, even if it's hot dogs and a salad, which is not ideal, but it's better than hitting that drive-through because you're going to save a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So So don't get caught into perfection. Like, it has to be gourmet meals. No, any meal is going to be cheaper. Any meal at home is going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
So just start somewhere.
Better for you.
Yeah, and better for you.
Guarantee it's going to be better for you.
Yeah.
Next up, we have shopping.
Yes. Shopping strategies.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you go in with a list
Yeah.
That you're not just going up and down the aisles. Oh, this looks good. Oh, that looks good. Oh,
I've
this
done
looks
that.
good. Oh, yeah. I still do it, if I'm being honest.
I still do
I'm
it
not perfect,
sometimes.
but yeah.
But when I have a list, I do save money, and I'm more prepared at home.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you're planning those meals, you want one piece of paper for your meal plan and one piece of paper for the shopping list, and then take a picture of it on your phone because you know you're going to forget that list when you go to the store.
Oh, what I like to do, I put it in the Notes app in my iPhone because they have the little thing you can just check off. And I take it a step further and divide it by sections. So I have like all my produce when you first walk in, and I have my meat, so that way I can get in and out. And
so your list follows the map of the store.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then having that list, it helps to avoid those impulse buys.
Yes.
I
struggle with this. I'm very impulsive. So, and I love a bargain. When you're under a budget, bargains can really pull you in. So the list helps with that. But when you do see the bargains, you got to be very wary of sales and coupons. I know they're very popular amongst people who want to save money, but they also can be really tricky, really manipulative, getting you to buy things you otherwise wouldn't buy or buy too much of something that ends up getting wasted.
Yeah.
So be careful, right? Don't get sucked in. It's like, is this something I'm going to use this week? Is this something that I would have bought if it weren't on sale?
Right.
Because it's going to get home and it's not going to be that appealing because you're going to forget that it was only 50 cents.
Yeah.
You're like,
right.
I don't like this kind of sauce. Why did I buy this sauce?
Why did I even do this? Yeah.
Because that adrenaline is gone.
Yeah.
And then another thing to help with impulse buying, don't go hungry.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
I've done this many times.
We are all guilty.
You're on your way home. You're like, I'm going to hit the store. I'm starving, but this is when I have time to hit the store. And that's why having the shopping list on your Notes app would be handy because then you at least have the list to help keep you grounded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I go hungry, there's that beef jerky hanging there looks I'm grabbing that, or I'm grabbing something because I'm
tell you what
I'm
I've
starving.
done. I've done this. Okay, like I'm at the store. I am starving, and this was the best I could do. I showed up at the store starving, so I headed straight to the protein bars, and I ate it in the store. Yes, I ate it before and then I was able to shop without being hungry.
Nice.
And then I scanned the wrapper.
Good
so
job.
there might be a questionable, people might, you didn't buy it yet. I'm like, it saved me money. I knew I was good for the money. So
yeah. Well,
anyway.
Speaking of saving money, protein tends to be
it's tough.
most expensive, right? The animal proteins typically. So what are some strategies that we can use to kind of navigate that?
Okay. You want to go for the cheaper cuts of meat. I know we all enjoy a nice steak, a filet mignon, but just go ahead and go for the ground pork, and just the cheaper cuts of meat. And if you are worried about if you're a foodie, like me, I don't have that sensitive of a palate. I'm like, throw it on the grill. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But some people are like, no, I miss the whatever cut that I'm used to. Then mix it in with other things. Put it in the stew. Put it in stir fry. Put it in soup. Marinate it overnight. There's tricks to make cheap cuts of meat really great. One trick that I learned, if you want to make an amazing barbecue steak that's from a cheaper cut, is you put your barbecue rub on there, and then you take a little bit of soda on there and marinate it in just a little bit of soda. It's going to break down the meat, make it soft.
There you go. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good.
So there you go. You don't have to spend a bunch of money on.
And also, like in terms of chicken, we rarely get chicken breasts.
Oh, okay.
We usually just get like the bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs or the drumsticks. They're like half the price of like per pound of chicken breast. Now, obviously, you don't want to go overboard and eat 3 thighs, in one sitting. So, you do want to be aware there's more fat in those but in terms of like affordability, those are way cheaper than chicken breast. Yeah.
I like to get the whole fryer, the whole thing. And it's so easy to cook it, right? You just throw it in the oven, throw some spices on there, and cook it. And then the cool thing is like a whole chicken is like the gift that keeps on giving. So you get your chicken breast, you pick off all the meat you can possibly pick off. Yeah. And then you take the frame and you put that in 8 cups of water and you just boil it.
Yeah.
for like an hour, or simmer it for a while. The house smells amazing. And then you take the frame out, and you can either let it simmer for 24 hours, let it be broth. I have a broth recipe, or you can take the frame out after an hour or two and just make a turkey frame soup. So I love chicken bones, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want any bones you have, you can make bone broth with any bones you get in your beef, your chicken, your pork, your ham bones. You can always, don't throw them away until you've made your broth.
Yeah.
Because it's so yummy.
Yeah. My dad, I remember when I used to, when he would make a chicken, like he would roast a chicken.
Yeah.
And then we would eat it for dinner, and there's all the little pieces left. He would like just, with his fingers, pick off all the little pieces and then make chicken salad out of all the little leftover like bits that were on there.
Amazing.
Instead of getting rid of it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. So that's protein. Other tricks are, try and have a day or two where you don't use an animal source of protein. You don't use meat. So like, remember meatless Mondays or whatever. Yeah. So learn how to cook with dry beans. This is something I learned early in my marriage in order to save money. And it was one of the best skills I ever learned. I always thought it was this really complicated, intimidating process to learn how to cook with dry kidney beans, but it's so cheap. A little bag of kidney beans. I mean, I still will buy the canned kidney beans, chili beans, and, the garbanzo beans that are already soaked and cooked. That's convenient for an emergency, but if you really want to save money, soak them yourself. It's not hard. It is not hard at all. It's so cheap. And that is a good source of protein, but you do need to realize it comes with carbs. So just keep that in mind. Treat it like a carb with a lot of bonus protein in it. Yeah. But it's not protein dominant, but it is a really nice, if you're on a really strict budget, like if you're having a rough time, beans can really help you and your family really meet a lot of your nutritional needs. So they can really help you make ends meet.
Nice.
And then fish is cheaper when you buy it frozen. Shrimp is tough. It's expensive sometimes. But keep an eye out. Sometimes the smaller shrimp are affordable if you're willing to just buy more of them. But those are great. Just use it as put it in a stew instead of trying to have it as a course. Use the shrimp as an ingredient, but they're a great source of protein. And then, of course, canned tuna is one of my favorites. Right, that's a great, really cheap source of protein. So don't turn your nose up at tuna. Okay, so veggies. What's our advice for veggies?
Well, if you're looking to save a bit of money, cut them yourself. Don't buy the pre-chopped ones because it's not significantly more expensive. It might be like $1.50 more. But, if you're looking to cut back a little bit, that's one of the ways you can do it. Just cut your veggies on your own. You can also, if you have a green thumb, you can start a garden. Yes. Kind of kale, so different types of lettuce grow pretty easily. Yeah. We have I don't have a garden myself, but I know we have members who do, and they grow tomatoes and peppers and all kinds of stuff. You could have a nice salad for you, especially throughout the summer. We're headed into that season.
I'm terrible at gardening, but I have been successful in growing green onions using a bunch, like the little white bottoms that I brought home from the grocery store. I cut them off, and then I just put them in a pot, watered them, and so you only need to buy green onions once this year, and then you just cut off the green bottoms, put them in the pot, grow them, and it's easy. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Not just green onions, you were saying I'm getting ahead of myself,
herbs.
But the herbs too, right?
Yes. Yeah. So herbs are notorious for going bad really fast in the refrigerator, but there's a really easy way to keep them forever. Well, okay, not forever, but for a really long time in your refrigerator. So like your cilantro, you just cut off the bottom, treat them like a bouquet of cut flowers, cut off the bottom and put them in a jar of water. And they're just this beautiful little bouquet of herbs. And you put them in the refrigerator, and they stay for a really long time that way. And then you just pull them out when you need them. Yeah. So it's great.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks really cute, too. Like you have this bougie little refrigerator bouquet.
That's what my mother-in-law does that with cilantro.
Yeah.
It's just got like infinite cilantro.
Yeah, parsley,
Puts it in a bunch of stuff
cilantro.
and just it never ends.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, basil, all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else? I can't read that far.
Smart carb.
Oh, okay. Okay. So when you're eating carbs, one of the pitfalls we fall into when we're trying to save money is we tend to buy more carbs because it's so cheap. Like it's cheaper to buy spaghetti and, carby things, crackers.
Yeah.
But those things are more processed, less satisfying. So they're actually going to, if you're going to buy the really carby processed foods, it's just going to make you hungrier. So you think, oh, I'm getting all this food for not much money, but it's really not. It's deceptive.
Yeah.
So you want a smart carb. That's going to satisfy you better. It may cost a little bit more on the front end, like buying sweet potatoes, but the dry beans, like I was saying before, those are going to stick to your ribs much better and give you more nutrition. So don't be afraid to spend a little money on the smart carb, way worth it, especially if you've got like teenage boys in the house.
Ooh, yeah.
You want something that's really going to be more satisfying than just something that burns off really fast, like spaghetti. So, yeah.
Great point.
Like, I mean, you could still have spaghetti, but you want to add in smart carbs. So.
Yeah.
Okay. And, we talked about the herbs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Yes, fantastic.
Do we talk about organic? I see we wrote organic.
Let's talk about organic again. We've done a whole podcast on this, but we can comment on the trap of organic.
Organic.
Right. We have great news for you. If you are on a budget and you're like, woe is me, I can't afford organic, I can't eat healthy. Our good news is don't worry about it. You don't need to buy it.
You don't need to buy it.
Yeah. If you're really worried about buying something that doesn't have a bunch of pesticides on it and you don't want like grocery store produce, go local. Just shop at your local farmer's market. The local farmers are usually very organic, even if they are not certified organic, because getting certified organic is a big pain. But local farmers usually are very conscious of having really good growth practices that are not like the big companies, the giant farms.
Yeah.
So your safest bet is just shop local. Yeah, go to a local farmer's market and get stuff. So.
Yeah, shop local. And basically, like, the key takeaway from the organic podcast that we recorded was basically, like, if it makes you feel better buying organic, sure, and you have the money, go, do you. But is there really more of a health benefit? There's not really.
No.
There's not really. So just be wary of, just because it has organic on there doesn't mean you need to buy it. Doesn't mean the organic lettuce is any better than
right. They've done studies on it. They're not any better for you.
Yeah. They couldn't find any real significant nutritional difference.
No.
It's so just keep that in mind, guys. But I think that pretty much covers everything. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
That's all the ideas we have at this point. If we come up with more, we'll do another one.
Yeah. Well, as always, hopefully this was helpful, guys. We will talk to you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.